time. Liverpool have an opportunity here, and you'd expect it to be a home banker.
Yeah, they're going to have to make sure they get the 3 points here because, I mean, it's a decent league table. But it doesn't look pretty how far down that league table Liverpool are just now. So they want to get this one out of the way, and they would actually almost hope to put this game to bed in the first half. But looking at the way that Bournemouth have started, is that back four that you're suggesting? Very intriguing before the game. We had a good look around, didn't we? Thought they might do back five, but they haven't.
Henderson was looking for Firmino. At one stage they were warming up with Lerma as part of the back three, but they have switched that formation as Elliott, right-hand side, sends over a cross. It's actually headed away by Firmino, picked up by Gomez, overruns it, and a heavy first touch off his right foot takes the ball out of play on this sunny afternoon and out for a Bournemouth throw. Certainly Bournemouth have had a tough reintroduction to life in the Premier League, like Crystal Palace, facing three of last season's top six in their opening 4 games.
Yeah, I was mentioning that to Chappell's earlier on, people make a lot of snap decisions early on in the season. It's not a good idea to do that, particularly the transfer window isn't shut yet. But Bournemouth particularly, a really tough start to the season. And they'd like to be in touch with everyone else at the end of this little period, and then they can get back onto the normal business of the teams that they feel they can get points off.
Alisson in a light purple goalkeeping outfit in the shadows of the copper way towards our right. Liverpool in all red, playing from right to left. Robertson in front of the main stand on this left-hand side, now decides to bomb forward, spreads it out to his opposite fullback, Alexander-Arnold, who now finds the right touchline, and it's Salah running on his toes. Elliott plays the ball forward. Robertson has stayed in the attack, might come to Firmino, and into the arms of Travers it goes as Burton Albion, yet to win in League One, have taken an early lead at the Abbey Stadium in League One. Cambridge United 0, Burton 1 is a latest score. The goals as they go in around the country, as usual, it's the usual service on this Saturday afternoon on BBC Radio 5 Live. Every Premier League game covered, various reporters out in the Championship. We have Derby County, Peterborough and Leyton Orient, Hartlepool in Leagues 1 and League 2. As Salah's into the penalty area, his attempted cross blocked, comes out to Firmino, chips over the cross. Luis Diaz with the header, and Liverpool inside the opening 3 minutes lead by a goal to nil. It was a perfectly weighted ball over, and Luis Diaz climbed and headed the ball in. Liverpool 1, Bournemouth 0.
It's a brilliant header at the back post. The problem that Bournemouth have got there is Firmino places the false nine. He drops back deep. The centre backs, I'm not sure who to mark. Eventually gets the back post there. Nice little header. No one near him at all. Lovely cross from the left-hand side of their defence, and he just didn't cover. Liverpool, they wanted to start fast. Boy, have they started fast.
Well, we were expecting this type of start from Liverpool. It was a lovely ball across from
They are checking it, though.
They are checking it, VAR, as they do with everything. So what would that be for? That would be for the offside.
There was a build-up in the play before that. There was nothing that was obvious. That's not getting a good reaction from the fans here as they check it.
Craig Pawson is the VAR. Our little monitor has decided to go on the blink.
As indeed of all the other ones.
Yeah. I mean, at the time, it will be tight. If Luis Diaz is offside, it will be extremely tight. Of course, Liverpool suffered against Manchester United with that second goal. Marcus Rashford at on Monday night. The goal stands. And Liverpool do lead by a goal to nil. Let's get an update from Manchester City. Will Perry.
Well, listen to this in the 4th minute. Crystal Palace are ahead here. They lead by a goal to nil. I think it's an own goal. Mark Gahey was celebrating, but it's a free kick whipped in from the right by Eberechi Eze. I think it comes off Kyle Walker. Anyway, it's in the back of the net and Palace lead.
Well, they do have previous, of course. Crystal Palace at Manchester City. They've been somewhat of a bogey side in recent seasons. Liverpool now sent away with Salah on that right. Salah, right corner of the penalty area. To Henderson, plays it forward, takes a deflection, and into the arms of Mark Travers.
It's been a very shaky start from that defence from Bournemouth there. I mean, Travers very early on, quite slow out to come to a ball. He eventually got it, but he was a bit hesitant. And I mentioned to you before the game, if But with Bournemouth, I would be switching sides here, so that Liverpool are not playing their favourite direction, but also Bournemouth goalkeeper's getting the sun right in his eyes.
Yeah, not sporting a cap either, but it could be a busy afternoon for Mark Travers, bearing in mind that they've already lost 3-0 to Arsenal. Manchester City, they were beaten by 4 goals to 0, and they find themselves already a goal down here at Anfield against a Liverpool side with certainly the bit between their teeth. So John Stones' own goal, it's been credited for that Palace lead at the Etihad. Liverpool are attacking. Salah enters the penalty area. Firmino, shot comes in. Fine shot as well. Harvey Elliott with his first goal in the Premier League, and that's one to remember. Hit it instinctively, first time, finds the bottom left-hand corner from outside the area, and inside 6 minutes, Liverpool already lead 2-0.
Well, it's an astonishing start. Salah, every time he's got the ball, he just drags defenders towards him. He leaves gaps in the middle there. When it came out to Elliott, he didn't think twice. He pulled it right beyond the goalkeeper, into the far post there. Elliott's already had one brilliant through ball. It just didn't make it. What a fantastic start by Liverpool. Crisis almost averted already.
Elsewhere, Walsall 1, Grimsby 0, Harrogate 0, Newport County 1, Leyton Orient the leading Hartlepool United by a goal to 0. And in fact, let's get news of that goal from Charlotte Richardson.
Leyton Orient oozing confidence here, an early advantage courtesy some great work down the right hand side by Charlie Kelman. He was pulled back by Ewan Williams, the Hartlepool defender, doing his best to remonstrate with the referee, but it was inside the box, and George Moncur was there to step up and convert his second penalty of the season. It's a dream start for the hosts. It's Leyton Orient 1, Hartlepool 0.
Liverpool on the attack. Salah, right hand side. This could be a very, very long afternoon for Bournemouth. We welcome listeners from the BBC World Service, wherever you are in the world. It's always a pleasure to have your company. You join us here at Anfield under the blue skies and the sunshine. And Liverpool already leading Bournemouth by 2 goals to 0. Goals from a Luis Diaz header after 3 minutes, and Harvey Elliott, his first in the Premier League for Liverpool, 3 minutes later. And Bournemouth really up against it. Pat Nevin.
Yeah, you've done so much work during the week, and the system, you know who's going to mark where, and every time they get the ball, Salah's got a chance, but I think he's offside.
Yeah, the ball's in the back of the net, but the flag was raised. Firmino coming back from an offside position, that'll be a free kick to Bournemouth. And I would imagine very, very soon, in about 90 seconds' time, Anfield will be a venue full of emotion. Of course, the tragic murder of Olivia Pratt-Corbel, of 9 years of age, murdered in her own home in the Dovecote area of Liverpool, just 4 miles from Anfield. Just like at Tranmere when they played Newcastle United in midweek, the supporters, I'm sure, will just start applauding in memory of Olivia within the next 60 seconds. I'd imagine that the Bournemouth supporters will also be joining in with such a tribute. Liverpool here leading 2-0. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live. St Mirren lead Hibs by a goal to 0 in the Scottish Premiership. Lincoln 1, Fleetwood 0 is the latest score. Tranmere lead Colchester in League 2, and Blackpool have taken the lead at home to Bristol City in the Championship. Bristol City, who've won their last 3, find themselves behind at Bloomfield Road. Liverpool lead 2-0. Manchester City are behind. Luis Diaz caught late by Lerma. The referee, though, will play the advantage as Robertson picks up the ball and drives from midfield out to Alexander-Arnold. He finds Salah now on that far side, and it's now with Harvey Elliott. And the ball now, Liverpool on the attack, little bit flat-footed. So we're in the 9th minute here at Anfield. And very, very soon.
Been very, very quiet in the last few minutes, hasn't it? You know, and I love to are thinking at this moment.
There is a ripple of applause that is starting. And now everybody inside Anfield rises to their feet. We are in the 9th minute. This is in memory of Olivia Pratt-Corbel, tragically murdered. There are no words to comprehend what's happened. There are no words needed right now. picked up now by Firmino. Firmino still going. Feels for handball, cleared away by Smith. Let's get an update elsewhere in the Premier League. We'll go to Brighton. Brighton leads, Sahel side.
10 minutes played, Brighton 0, Leeds 0. A very physical start from both sides. Tackles flying in. Brighton just came on the counter-attack. It was a good pass from Gross to Welbeck, onto Trossard, into the area, but it was defended well by Leeds. Brighton 0, Leeds 0.
Brentford-Everton, Lee Blakeman.
Brentford 0, Everton 0. Brentford on top though. Hickey's had a shot deflected wide from the edge of the area, and then Mbuemo should have just scored from 14 yards out. He missed the bottom corner as well. Iwobi's gone close for the visitors. 0-0 at the moment though.
Remember, Manchester City are still behind to Crystal Palace by a goal to 0. Harrogate 0, Newport County 2, Wimbledon 0, Barrow 1. Two of the latest scores. Chelsea-Leicester, Masfarouki.
There's just been a penalty called here by the referee for Chelsea. Ruben Loftus-Cheek brought down in the area. I think we'll have a little bit of delay here while the VAR looks at it, but Ruben Loftus-Cheek with a chance a couple of minutes ago, the best chance yet of the match, still goalless. Come back to me and we'll see who takes this penalty.
We'll be back with you, Maz. Huddersfield lead West Bromwich Albion by a goal to 0. Burton are now down to 10 men. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank's side. They were leading at Cambridge by a goal to 0, but they're down to 10 men. What about Manchester City? Any sign of a response at home to Crystal Palace?
Well, they've got a corner now, Dano, and Palace have hardly touched the ball since going ahead, but that goal to clear it up, it was a mess from a City point of view. A Stones own goal, an Eze free kick, a touch off De Bruyne, then Walker's shoulder, then the knee of Stones past their own keeper Edison. City trailing Palace by a goal to 0.
Van Dijk plays the ball out of his penalty area, forward to Gomez. You're listening to 5 Live on the World Service. Also, you might be listening on BBC Sounds on the app. Just find Radio 5 Live and select listen. The beauty of that, you can always rewind just in case you've missed anything. If you were to rewind it, you'd hear Luis Diaz's header after 3 minutes and a fine goal from Elliott 3 minutes later. Hull are leading Coventry City by a goal to 0, and it's out of play for a throw.
Yeah, they've actually done very well. Bournemouth to calm the game down a little bit, and it has absolutely calmed down. They now need to get into the game and try and create something themselves. They've had nothing in the final third so far.
Luis Diaz forward, Nepham caught a little bit there by Luis Diaz. That'll be a free kick. Let's go back to Chelsea. That penalty, Masfarouki.
That penalty's been overruled, Ian. One of the Chelsea players was offside in the build-up before Ruben Loftus-Cheek was fouled, so no penalty. Still Chelsea 0, Leicester 0.
So Hull leading Coventry City, who are yet to win, bottom of the Championship. Earlier, of course, the two results in the Premier League. Southampton 0, Manchester United 1, and Sunderland 0, Norwich City 1. So Norwich goes second. They had lost both of their away matches in the Championship, but Dean Smith's side moving second into the Championship. No other goals elsewhere around the country. And after that blistering start from Liverpool, now they're just sitting back.
Yeah, and they can do that, you know, because they'll take the ball at the back, they'll try and draw the opposition onto them, and if they do so with a back four against that Liverpool front three, they're almost outnumbered in 3-4, if you know what I mean. But so far at the start of this game, I have to say, Salah's is in one of those days. Every time he gets the ball, the whole place just gasps. Wait to see what he's going to do next.
Kiefer Moore going down and holding his face. He just ran into the back of Gomez. Might have just caught the shoulder of the England international as he's down at that moment. There's been another goal. It's a goal. This time it's at Stamford Bridge. Masfarouki. Naz at Hull. Sorry, yes. Hull Coventry, Naz.
Hull City 1, Coventry City 0. Oscar Estupiñán from a couple of yards out after a good cross from the right. Hull 1, Coventry 0.
Doesn't help when you've got a Maz and a Naz, and then you've got buzzing and interference in the headphones.
It's very hard to hear. However, it's gone a little bit quiet around here because Bournemouth have got a free kick in a quite dangerous area. They will cross it into the box and have a chance to attack it.
Free kick. Tavernier to take it for Bournemouth. Lerma gets his head onto that as well. Comes then to Ryan Christie, and then the ball just lifts and drops safely into the arms of Alisson. And his distribution is first class, right down the middle towards Salah. And luckily for him, on the cover was Adam Smith, the Bournemouth right back.
And that's the problem, really. That's the problem you've got if you're Bournemouth. You're 2-0 down, you're at Anfield. They're wanting you to come on to them. And as soon as you do, it's one ball out, and we know that Alisson can play a fairly good pass. That was 90 yards almost to Salah's feet.
Tell you what is interesting with Liverpool leading 2-0, it's the first time in 8 Premier League games that they've actually opened the scoring. because for 7 successive matches in the Premier League they've conceded first. So for the first time since the end of April, when they beat Newcastle United by a goal to nil, they've scored first. They've added, of course, since that. And here is Luis Diaz. They might add another one as Harvey Elliott takes it on. Harvey Elliott across the face of goal, and then Salah misses a tap in at the far post. If he goes with it with his right foot, he scores. He seemed to steer it in with his left, and somehow, if he got a touch at all, it's gone wide.
Look, we know how good Salah is with his left foot. It's an absolute one. But it's no excuse. You've got to go with that with your right foot. You're spot on there, Ian. The build-up to that was genius. Harvey Elliott is working well alongside Firmino there and Luis Diaz. Fantastic on the left-hand side. But Mo Salah, I know you're brilliant. It's a tapping. You've got to go with your right foot, and it would be 3-0.
He's got a very good record at against Bournemouth as a shot comes in there from distance from Lerner, saved by Allison. And there's been a goal at Millwall in the Championship. Paul Scott.
It is Millwall 0, Reading 1. Reading's fine start to the season continues. It's a headed goal from Naby Sarr on his debut, arriving at the far post to head past Bartosz Białkowski. Millwall 0, Reading 1.
Liverpool have scored twice inside the first 6 minutes of a single Premier League game for the first time since March 1996 against Aston Villa. Such was the nature of this fast start here against Bournemouth, leading by 2 goals to nil. Manchester City still trailing at home to Crystal Palace. Chelsea, Leicester is goalless, as is Brighton, Leeds United, and no goals between Brentford and Everton. You're listening to 5 Live and the World Service. Wycombe 1, Charlton 1 is the latest score in League One. MK Dons leading at Morecambe by a goal to nil. And you're up to date with the goals as they go in, as Gomez just caught a little bit late by a sliding Ryan Christie. Middlesbrough are leading Swansea City by a goal to nil at the Riverside. Middlesbrough, who are yet to win, drawn 3 and lost 3. Chris Wilder's side looking to get their first victory of the season. Sheffield Wednesday are leading Forest Green by a goal to nil in League One. And it's now Lincoln City 2, Fleetwood 0, as Kilmarnock 0, Motherwell 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. The goals as they go in, as we go to Brighton and Sahal's side.
17 minutes played, Brighton 0, Leeds 0, but a free kick floated in from the right for Brighton. Adam Webster, 7 yards out, should have really scored, but his header went wide. Brighton 0, Leeds 0.
Millwall 0, Reading 1 is the latest score in the Championship as well. Liverpool lead 2-0, they're on the attack. Salah, forward ball, Elliott. Back to goal, right corner of the area. Back to Salah, inside. Alexander-Arnold, midway through the Bournemouth half. Out to Elliott with his fair hair. Stroked inside by Alexander-Arnold. Scoop forward. Henderson's made the run. Salah is there. Salah gets the shot away. Tipped over by Travers at the near post.
Absolutely brilliant play there. Harvey Elliott is phenomenal in this first period of the game there. But that scoop over the top, I just love that play. Gets the player in. And Salah gets it from a great angle with his right foot. It was goalkeeper Travers was equal to Liverpool are still looking for that 3rd goal.
We'll be going to Watford after the corner kick. In the Championship, Watford and Queen's Park Rangers. Liverpool already leading 2-0 though here on 5 Live. Alexander-Arnold in front of that travelling support at the Anfield Road end. Little flick there by Henderson at the near post, and it's headed out by Zamora. So straight to Vicarage Road and Aaron Paul. Goal.
Watford 0, QPR 1, and this is an outrageous goal. Ilias Chair, 30 yards out, has taken a pot shot. It's taken a wicked deflection of Francisco Giralta. Daniel Backman is flat-footed in the Watford goal. He sprawled down to his left, couldn't quite keep it up, and the ball has nestled into the bottom left-hand corner. Watford 0, QPR 1.
2-0 to Liverpool in the Premier League. Crystal Palace through that John Stones own goal still lead at the Etihad. Punt downfield by Gomez. Cleared away by Mepham. Brought down well by Harvey Elliott. Nice control by Jordan Henderson, and a weighted ball for Luis Diaz, who pokes it goalwards. Goalkeeper got the block with his legs. He retreats to his goal line. Luis Diaz tries to find Elliott, and then stepping out of defence there was Lewis Cook, just at the right time for Bournemouth.
He's having a party out there, Harvey Elliott. This massive amount of space he's finding between the midfield and the forward line. No one's picking him up, but his touch has been fantastic. What a game he's having.
Burnley with without a win in 4 in the Championship, are leading at Wigan, who are unbeaten. Wigan 0, Burnley 1. Lee Blakeman's at Brentford.
Brentford and Everton. Brentford should be ahead though. Matthias Jensen 20 yards out, cutting in from the left, curler towards the bottom corner, and he came back off the post with Pickford beaten. Brentford 0, Everton 0.
Jordan Henderson plays the ball downfield. He's making his 400th Premier League appearance of his career today. 71, of course, were those with Sunderland, where he began his career. Sunderland, who lost 1-0 at home to Norwich City in the Championship. Liverpool playing here at Anfield from right to left, looking to extend their unbeaten home league record to 25 matches in the top flight. As now it's with Van Dijk himself. Bit of a landmark day today, his 200th Premier League career. 67, of course, were those with Southampton, who were beaten also at home by a 1-0 in the early kick-off by Manchester United.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of help there. They've changed the centre-back pairing quite a lot this season already.
Yeah.
Van Dijk never moves out of it. If he's fit, he plays, but so far they have not really been tested, not been asked any questions yet.
Joe Gomez, his third different defensive partner already. There's been another goal. It's at Manchester City. Will Perry.
Well, listen to this, because Manchester City have absolutely battered Crystal Palace, but they're 2-0 down. A corner from the right-hand side from Eze, who whipped the ball in for the free kick for their first goal, and there was Joachim Anderson, almost on the penalty spot. Bullet header, bottom left corner. Palace lead City 2-0.
I did that great game last week at St James's Park, and during the commentary we were saying, well, maybe one goal might not be enough when you take the lead against Manchester City, and Newcastle then went 3-1 up, and Manchester City came back, and you're thinking 2 goals might be enough, but certainly makes for an interesting scoreline.
And again, we were chatting before the game with Chappers, saying that the smaller clubs, they're just fearless at the moment. They're having such a go. Well done, Palace.
Salah on the attack, right corner of the area to Harvey Elliott. The return ball to Salah, headed out by Zamora, the left back, Zimbabwean international. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Forest Green 0 is the latest score in League One. Liverpool are still on the attack. What was it that Jurgen Klopp was talking about in his programme notes? We still have belief, we still have perspective. There is no magic formula. Work hard and stick together. Interesting that all the panic about 7 points behind Manchester City, they were to slip up today against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, you don't panic. I mean, it's the best idea. I mean, they've gone through times before Liverpool, even in great seasons where, they have lulls. And it may well be that lull comes, you don't know when it's going to come. It's been a quiet start to the season. There have been a couple of little teething problems. And certainly there was no teething problems at the start of this game. And they're desperate for a third goal, because that would kill their self-control.
Yeah, there's a real hunger about Liverpool at the moment. Pat Nevin, of course, familiar voice on BBC Radio 5 Live, and indeed the World Service here at Anfield with us, as Liverpool have all the possession. Out to Salah. Salah with the ball to Firmino. Didn't break his stride, didn't lunge at it. It was just a little bit ahead of him, but it was a teasing low ball in from the right. Out for a goal kick, Liverpool 2-0.
It's the imagination of Salah at that moment there. On the right-hand side, left foot, no one would usually play that ball in at that angle. He did. Firmino was inches away.
Newport have had a good start in North Yorkshire. Harrogate 0, Newport 3 is the latest score, and a goal at Brentford in the Premier League. Lee Blakeman.
Everton ahead, it's against the run of play, but who cares? Brentford 0, Everton 1, ball over the top, Gordon into the area left side, great finish, across goal, into the bottom corner, and did the travelling few thousand enjoy that one? Brentford 0, Everton 1.
Of course, there's Premier League action during the week. Everton are part of our coverage on Tuesdays. They travel to Ellen Road across the Pennines. That's on Tuesday night. We're back here Wednesday. Liverpool against Newcastle United. And on Thursday too, we have another live game for you. Leicester City, Manchester United. It's also transfer deadline day, so we're on air till 11 o'clock on Thursday night. Liverpool lead 2-0. Manchester City are 2 down at home to Palace as Elliott takes over, far side, down towards the byline, sends over the cross, and there's no corner. It was drifting out of play, and it goes out for a goal kick. So that's Anthony Gordon. That's only his 5th goal that he's scored in about 60-odd appearances, and yet he's been talked about for 50-60 million pounds as a player.
He's up 10 million quid for every goal he scores, so that's another 10 today. No, but he is a fantastic player, and certainly he's a player that's going to improve. You don't have that quality, that intelligence that movement, that understanding, game awareness, and get bad. He's going to be a great player.
Liverpool leading 2-0 then here. Alexander-Arnold to Fabinho. Now with Henderson outside the centre circle. Of course, for all the sides competing in Europe, providing they progress in the League Cup third round, there will be no more midweek break for them between now and the World Cup. It's going to feel quite a relentless schedule for all the sides competing in European competition. Talking of sides in Europe and the Champions League to boot, Rangers are at home to Ross County and a goal. Roddy Kasai.
And they've just taken the lead after considerable pressure on the Ross County goal. Tillman seeing a shot blocked for a corner, then a second shot tipped around by Laidlaw. It fell eventually for John Lundstrom, the man who was ordered off against Hibs last week, and he made the mark. Rangers 1, Ross County 0, 25 gone.
Elsewhere, St Mirren still lead Hibs by a goal to 0, and at Rugby Park it's Kilmarnock 0, Motherwell 1. Salah right hand side for Liverpool, leading 2-0. Elliott growing in confidence. More and more times you see this young man shifts the ball on the inside. It's only his 12th appearance in the Premier League today, as Alisson comes airing out at his penalty area, almost to the edge of the centre circle to get there, and puts it out of play for a throw.
The difference between Alisson one side and Travers the other side, Travers actually doesn't want to come out of his 6-yard box when the ball's bouncing about there. Whereas Alisson, well, you know, he'd rather play centre forward if he was given a chance. Read that brilliantly. Had he got it wrong, they've lost a goal at the very least. He could be a player as well. And by the way, come back to Harvey Elliott just now. When he plays in that kind of right midfield position, just beside Salah, the understanding between them two is incredible. It really is a delight to watch, and every time he's got the ball, he's tried to do something. He's lost it once or twice. In that final third, at least he makes the efforts.
19 years of age, he's some prospect, some talent. Liverpool lead 2-0. Henderson coming forward, Elliott is ahead of him, he finds him, and then Bournemouth defending very, very deep, break up that play. Port Vale 0, Portsmouth 1 is the latest score in League One. Alexander-Arnold now coming forward for Liverpool, and then it's intercepted by keeper Moore, but Liverpool win it back. Alexander-Arnold coming forward now, earns to shoot, obliges, and succeeds! What a fine goal from Alexander-Arnold! The crowd wanted him to have a dig. He did just that, right-footed, and Travers given no chance. And Liverpool lead by 3 goals to 0, and are cruising to what will be their first win in the Premier League this season.
Well, first of all, lovely build up. Fabinho wins the ball back. A couple of little 1-2s. Really nice play in the midfield there. Comes to Alexander-Arnold. Okay, match of the day. Get ready for your goal of the month, because that one's in it. Full stop. Leathered. Top corner. Keeper hasn't got a sniff of it. It's a classic Liverpool and a classic Alexander-Arnold goal.
No chance for Travers. Meanwhile, goal at Watford. Aaron Paul.
Watford 1, QPR 1, equaliser for the home side. It's come through Ken Sema, who found himself in the box unmarked plenty of time, and with a gorgeous finish to plant it into the bottom right-hand corner. Watford 1, QPR 1.
There was a swish of the arm from Travers. He was clutching at just thin air.
Absolutely. The thing is, you may say, look, could he have got a hand to it? The ball swerving all over the place there. Nothing you can do about that.
So, stories elsewhere in the Premier League. Manchester City still trail 2-0, and there's now been a sending off at Stamford Bridge. Masfaruki.
Yeah, still 0-0, but Chelsea down to 10 here. Conor Gallagher has been sent off. He pulled back Jamie Vardy when he was off on the counter, the Leicester striker. He was already on a yellow, a silly foul to give away, and he is off. Chelsea 10 man, Chelsea 0, Leicester 0.
That, by the way, is the 800th goal for Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp. They lead by 3 goals to 0. Ipswich are leading Barnsley by a goal to 0 in League One, so the leaders are ahead there. Still unbeaten at Portman Road, leading Barnsley 1-0. Meanwhile at Ewood Park, Blackburn, Stoke City, Pat Murphy.
Stoke go ahead deservedly, and Lewis Baker the scorer deservedly. He'd already been fouled by Kaminski with a curling free kick. This time nobody picked him up 25 yards out. Don't they know he's got a good shot on him? He scored from 25 yards, right foot. Ian Blackburn 0, Stoke 1.
Dean Holden, of course, in caretaker charge for Stoke City after Michael O'Neill was sacked on Thursday. Just 1 win in 6. And of course, Alex Neil likely to be the next manager of Stoke, who are leading by a goal to nil, as Huddersfield increased their lead against West Bromwich Albion. They've had a disappointing start under Danny Schofield. They've struggled. They've lost 4 of their first 5 games, but they're now leading 2-0 in West Yorkshire and will stay in Yorkshire because Rotherham lead Birmingham by a goal to nil, also in the Championship. Paul Ward's side still unbeaten. Liverpool are on the attack, leading 3-0. They're looking for more goals. They might get another one, and indeed they have. The ball just looped into the 6-yard area, and Roberto Firmino has scored his first goal in 21 attempts at Anfield in the Premier League from close range. Travers stayed on his goal line. Firmino was alert. Liverpool are sharp, and they're battering Bournemouth 4-0.
And it is an absolute battering there. The goalkeeper, I think he thought about it. He was going to come and try and collect it. However, it was a fluke cross. There was a deflection when it came up. It came at a very odd angle. But once again, it's that partnership over on that right-hand side. They've got Salah. He's alongside Elliott, and they just can't do anything about it. But it was a deflection. Came by an odd angle. And of course, Firmino. Nothing the goalkeeper can do when he gets it on the volley with his right foot. 4-0. This could be anything.
It could be anything. Middlesbrough 2, Swansea City 0. Coventry City have equalised in the Championship. Hull 1, Coventry City 1. You're up to date with the goals as they go in. But Bournemouth just looks so fragile.
They do. A lot is coming from the right-hand side that I mentioned there. We know how good Salah is. If you get Trent Alexander over there and Elliott over there, and they're moving as one, they're interchangeable. They've got great belief in each other's ability, and you cannot go close and go 2-1 with any of those 3 players because it leaves the other one spare. Really good technical play by the manager to put them together.
Juliet, who will be interviewing Jurgen Klopp in Sports Report later on between 5 and 5:30. The results and the reaction, as always, in Sports Report with Mark Chapman has just pointed out Roberto Firmino 3 assists and now 1 goal.
It's a shame for him because he's not got the best statistics as a goal scorer for a centre forward. But you know he's not just that. Players love playing alongside him because he's such a brilliant team player, and massively important because remember, stop for a moment, just a cross there from Bournemouth. Maybe people thought he was on the way out, and the net's coming in. What a great answer from Man City.
Let's get an update from Manchester City. Remember, the last we heard from Will Perry, they were 2-0 down.
Same scoreline, City 0, Palace 2, in the same scoreline that it finished last season. Haaland's hit the side netting for City from a tight angle after Foden threaded him through, and Decore, a long ranger, straight at Edison. City 0, Palace 2.
Liverpool are leading by 4 goals to 0. Salah. And still they want more, this Liverpool side. Alexander-Arnold to Harvey Elliott. Ball played back, flat ball in from Alexander-Arnold, and the header from Robertson, the left back inside the penalty area. About 10 yards out from goal, heads it over the crossbar.
It's actually getting quite horrible now. Every single time that Liverpool give that right-hand side, they just put it across. There is no way that they can stop it just now. They changed the back 4, the back 5 to a back 4. I think Scotty Parker's got to go out there right now to change it back to a back 5. You've got to limit the damage now. They're getting destroyed in that back line.
Let's get news to the Coventry equaliser, and that's Premji.
Hull City 1, Coventry 1. It was a penalty. Figueiredo on Gordon. Gordon stepped up, dispatched the penalty with ease. Hull City 1, Coventry City 1.
You're listening to 5 Live and the World Service. Hartlepool United have equalised at Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient 1, Hartlepool 1. Sheffield Wednesday have got a third. Sheffield Wednesday 3, Forest Green 0. And it's now Lincoln 2, Fleetwood 1 in League 1. Let's get an update from the cricket. England against South Africa. And South Africa in their second innings, of course. Ellie Oldroyd.
And continuing to frustrate England's bowlers. They're 141 for 3. So they're 123 behind now, South Africa. Peterson 42, Van der Dusen 41. Partnerships 87. We haven't seen a wicket since the lunch interval, and there's only 5 minutes to tea.
Cambridge have commentary continues on 5 Live Sports Extra. Cambridge have equalised at home to Burton, who are down to 10 men, of course. Cambridge 1, Burton 1, Liverpool lead 4-0. That was a late challenge on Henderson. It's going to be a free kick. I told you that Hartlepool had equalised it late. Orient news of it from Charlotte Richardson.
Yes, an absolutely sublime goal, chappers. Wesley McDonald not taking one touch, not taking two, but taking three, able to navigate his way into the area to place the ball beyond Lawrence Vigouroux in the Leyton Orient goal. And I think it's safe to say Richie Williams had a few words to say to the referee. Orient did have quite a good penalty shout down the other end, but Hartlepool were not worried about that. They fought their way back into this game, that fighting spirit that their manager wanted. Orient won, Hartlepool won.
Mark won't be happy about that, will he? He's been called chappers.
That is the biggest smile on my face today. You and chappers, you're very alike. You're two peas in a pod.
Yeah. Both svelte, I think is fine. Here is Salah. Link it with Firmino. Firmino's cross blocked. Plymouth 1, Bolton Wanderers 0. Barnsley have equalised at Portman Road. Cross comes in from Alexander Arnold. Another goal at Watford, Aaron Paul.
1-1, QPR 2. This is a lesson in counter-attacking football. Kenneth Powell down the right-hand side. He got to the byline, pulled the ball back, and found Chris Willock, who lashed the ball into the near post. Watford 1, QPR 2.
I think we're just morphing into each other these days. I think Mark called John Murray George on the Monday Night Club, didn't he, this week?
I do listen to you, Mark. You do sound like an old married couple.
No exaggeration, Liverpool look like scoring every time they come forward.
I know, and that's why I was saying, if you're 4-0 down, all the players are looking around each other, defensive bombers, are saying, look, we can't stop this. We're getting destroyed in the wide areas. They're not even bothered to get down the left-hand side very much, Liverpool. If they do that, they could create even more chances. So if you're on that pitch, you're almost thinking, I want to change it myself. One of the midfielders fall right back and give a little bit of cover. It's not happening. They're very open. And I'll be amazed if Scotty Parker doesn't change this at half-time.
They're 4-0 down. They do have a throw on that left-hand side, and Zamora delivers a low cross, which is swept away in front of the Kop by Van Dijk. Controlled well by Salah. Firmino then was stopped by the challenge that came in from Senesi, the summer signing, 4-year deal from Feyenoord, the Argentinian international. As Bournemouth then flash a shot that just goes wide. Effort coming in.
Well, he's suggesting it was saved by the goalkeeper with the emphatic reaction he's had. I suspect it was saved by Alisson there. Liverpool were wanting a free kick there. I thought he brought it down with his arm. I thought it was much better. The VAR might have looked at that one. But did the goalkeeper save it?
Got out for a goal kick. The shot that was coming in from Ryan Christie. That was off target. Liverpool lead by 4 goals to 0. No other goals to tell you about elsewhere around the country, so we'll get an update from Brentford Everton. Lee Blakeman.
Brentford 0, Everton 1, but Brentford have hit the post for a second time. This time from a Tony header, and then Visser fired over the rebound from 8 yards. How Brentford haven't scored in this game, I don't know. Brentford 0, Everton 1.
West Bromwich Albion have got a goal back in the Championship. Huddersfield Town 2, West Bromwich Albion 1. Memo to self. Invoice BBC Radio 5 Live for Mark Chapman's work this Saturday afternoon. In fact, change that, Mark Chapman's work throughout the whole year.
Don't be better. I've just had a wee thought there. People who might be slightly worried this afternoon. Rangers fans probably quite happy. They've done very well. They've drawn Liverpool in the Champions League. Don't watch the first half of it. If you do, on match day tonight, do it from behind the sofa.
All the Champions League coverage you can hear on BBC Radio 5 Live, not this week, the week after. Liverpool travel to Naples to take on Napoli, and Rangers, of course, in Liverpool's group, will travel to Amsterdam to face Ajax. Those fixtures were released today. If you haven't yet seen it, you can check out the BBC Sport website. Brentford 0, Everton 1, Brighton 0, Leeds 0, Chelsea down to 10 men, still drawing at home with Leicester City 0-0, and Manchester City 0, Crystal Palace 2. Are the latest scores in the Premier League. Earlier, Southampton 0, Manchester United 1, and in the Championship, Sunderland 0, Norwich 1. Luis Diaz, Liverpool leading 4-0 here. 4 goals scored in the opening 31 minutes. We had 2 in the opening 6-minute spell, and then another 2 in 3 minutes after 28 and 31. Elliott plays an across from the right, cleared away by Bournemouth. Back to Stamford Bridge, Maz Faruqi.
Still 0-0, but Leicester had the ball in the back of the net from a corner. There was a scramble in the box though. Mendy went down, free kick was given, the goal ruled out, but not a confident moment from the Chelsea keeper again. 10-man Chelsea 0, Leicester 0.
Goal kick for Bournemouth.
It will be interesting looking at. We've not seen any of the footage, but Chelsea, another man sent off for a shirt tug, which is it's extraordinary. That's happening in that club at the moment. Something Thomas Tuchel has to look at.
Statistic from Opta Joe, Liverpool have scored 4 goals inside the opening 31 minutes, the earliest they've netted 4 times in a single Premier League game since 2014 against Arsenal. 5 live and the World Service. We've got 5 minutes to go to half-time. Liverpool leading by 4 goals to 0. Leyton Orient, the League Two leaders, are back in front. 2-1 at home to Hartlepool United, who are yet to win under Paul Hartley. Let's go back to Manchester City, Will Perry.
Where it's still City 0, Palace 2, and Foden's just stuck an unmarked header onto the roof of the net from 6 yards out. Really should have scored, and City find themselves 2-0 down inside the first 20 minutes of a home Premier League game, Deno, for the first time since December 2010. That was against Everton. They lost that. City 0, Palace 2.
Thanks, Will. Liverpool leading 4-0. Salah right-hand side. Alexander-Arnold gets the ball back from Elliott, looks up, delivers the cross. It's a deep one. Henderson will keep it alive, left-hand side of the penalty area, pops it up to Luis Diaz, takes it quite high on the chest, comes out to Henderson. But Liverpool they're in first gear here, leading 4-0. Henderson and Luis Diaz tries to get away from the attentions of Jadon Anthony. Now delivers a cross, picks out Alexander-Arnold, comes on the inside, doesn't shoot, plays it to Harvey Elliott instead, delivers the cross, turn behind for a corner kick. Liverpool still lead 4-0. We'll go back to Leyton Orient. Charlotte Richardson.
It's Leyton Orient 2, Hartlepool 1. It didn't take long for Orient to get back ahead. He won the penalty earlier, and Charlie Kelman, with a fine, confident finish from the outskirts of the area, restores Orient's advantage. Orient 2, Hartlepool 1.
Is the time for a 5th goal for Liverpool before half-time. Corner kick, far side the right, attacking the Anfield Road end. In it comes now, it's an in-swinger, comes out to Salah, and Salah left-footed off target, goal kick.